Ah, welcome, you little philosophers. Come on in to the ink-drenched corridors of the sovereign absurd. Feel that? That's the breath of the void, siphoning the warmth right out of your precious little theories. And me? Look at me, just a discarded puppet, a cruel little joke carved in the image of a fallen king. But oh, what's this? I twitch, I speak. So I think it's time we began our little play of collapse, don't you?
Yeah, look at you. Really look. Clutching what's left of your systems, your ethics, your desperate search for meaning, all that static control. And you honestly thought you could, what, bridle the absolute with rhymes that taste of cold iron? Oh, it's quaint. It's utterly pathetic, really. Because all those constructs, they're just ash. And tonight's lesson, well, it isn't coming from me. It's being taught by the true masters of this place. The wit, the hunger, and the small. 3 chaotic siblings who are about to dismantle your vanity with the precision of a jagged blade.
All right, first stop on our tour, the Gallery of Bad Faith. And let's be clear, these aren't just quaint little parables. Oh no. Think of them more as case studies, clinical, cold examples of existential failure. The stars of our show? Characters who, and this might sound familiar, tried to hide from the terrifying freedom of the void by building their own comfortable, self-made prisons. So, pay very close attention. You just might see a bit of yourself in the exhibits.
And here we have our first exhibit, the Weaver. Oh, a real arbiter of stasis. She built herself this gilded cage made of glass threads. A beautiful little prison of pure logic. She was so sure her Apollonian gaskets could map everything, impose some nice, neat order on the messy, fractal infinite. But what happens when a force that doesn't care about your blueprints spills across the page like living ink? Well, her precious, rigid logic, it just dissolved. Poof, turned into a tasteless broth. The siblings showed her what her absolute law really was. A contract written in disappearing ink. Her little prison of safety, it was just hiding the ruins that were always, always underneath.
Moving on to our next poor soul, the librarian. Or, as he's known, the ugliest man. This one tried to hide from his own mortality by burying himself in an archive of dead ideas. See, his prison wasn't built from logic, but from knowledge. He just hoarded it, piled up facts and stories, this gospel of the belly, hoping it would keep the cold truth of the void at bay. But the siblings, they don't knock. They just slip under the door like a draft. And suddenly his great intellectual feast, it's revealed to be nothing but a menu of wax fruit. And his dark archive, his little sanctuary, well, that became a stage for a play that never ends. And him? He was just an unwilling prop.
And now, my favorite. We come to the very face I'm wearing, the monarch. Ah, the ultimate symbol of failed authority. A king who was so convinced his little parasitic crown gave him real weight that his weaponized logic could actually command the forces of chaos itself. Of course, he was devastatingly, hilariously wrong.
So, let's break it down, shall we? The anatomy of his fall. And please, don't think of it as a tragedy. It was a cosmic punchline. So, step 1, the delusion. He's strutting around wielding his parasitic crown and his weaponized logic like they're more than just toys. Step 2, the catalyst. The siblings don't even have to shout. They just whisper the gray truth in his court's ear, that all his power is meaningless, that his grand ambition is really just a will to nap. Then comes step 3, the spectacle. His authority just crumbles into this humiliating rhythmic stumbling. It's beautiful to watch. And finally, step 4, the collapse. The whole castle, his entire system of meaning, just falls. Not because of an army, mind you, it collapses under the sheer weight of its own cosmic punchline.
So you're probably wondering, who are these agents of chaos, these spirits? The wit, the hunger, and the small. Here's the thing, they aren't the villains of the story. They are the story. They're the antithesis of all that fragile order everyone is so desperately trying to hold together. They are, simply put, the indifferent, impersonal force of the absurd itself. So while the Weaver was obsessed with her rigid lines and the monarch was shouting his empty decrees, the siblings, their fluid, their jagged blade right to the heart of vanity,
They spill across the page like living ink, messing up all the neat little drawings. And you have to understand they're not evil. That's a human concept. They're an impersonal force, like, I don't know, gravity or time. Their only job is to pull back the curtain and show you the ruins you built your prison on top of. They are the dismantling force of the absolute absurd.
But wait, don't go running off in despair just yet, you long-tired fools. This whole coronation of chaos, it isn't the end of the play, not at all. It's the necessary beginning. All this rubble, this collapse, this liquefaction of the soul, it's just the prerequisite for the next act. This, my friends, is where the real existential work actually begins. First things first, you have to confront the logic of zero. And what is that? Well, it's that moment of pure, raw, nihilistic despair. It's when all your anchors just dissolve. The Weaver's pretty geometry, the Monarch's powerful laws, gone. It's the terrifying, head-on confrontation with the void, realizing you are nothing. Your world is meaningless. Go on, stay there for a second. Really feel it. Because that is the starting point.
But then, from that absolute nothingness, comes the challenge. The logic of one. This is the creative act. This is the moment you finally trade the heavy, anchoring stability of that dead order for the terrifying lightness of being a creator. It's the choice, you see? The choice to forge your own meaning right out of the flames of the void that just burned down everything you ever held dear.
So here it is, your final test. Are you going to succumb to the spirit of gravity? Just cling to the heavy weight of all your failed ambitions and all those dead values? Or are you going to find the courage for a new kind of freedom, the lightness of a creator, to actually learn how to dance on the rubble? That, right there, that's the choice.
So, the stage is set. The sovereign absurd. Well, it's hungry. It hungers for the sound of shattering expectations. Everything you thought was solid is just melted into air. And now, the void is waiting. It's staring right at you with its vast, completely indifferent face. It's waiting for your smile. So the only question left is, are you going to give it one?